Right now, I am preparing for the day when I will be required to give an accounting to the prophet Joseph Smith, to President Brigham Young, and the others, and ultimately to the Lord, about my stewardship as God's prophet upon the earth today. I do not want to be asked, Brother Nelson, why were you not more clear with the youth about their part in gathering Israel? Why were you not more bold in enlisting them to participate?
Brother Nelson, why were you not more clear with the saints about their obligation to oppose liberalism?
A liberal in the church is merely one who does not have a testimony.
Why is feminism so prevalent amongst the membership today? Brother Nelson, why didn't you ever preach against feminism over the pulpit? Why didn't you teach women to submit to their husbands? And why did you allow temples to stop teaching this divine doctrine? Furthermore, why did false doctrines on the subject enter our church manuals? Brother Nelson, why weren't you more bold in warning the church against the globalist secret combination that's trying to take over the world today? And at a time when this globalist secret combination is such a great threat, why did you undermine patriotism in the church instead of strengthening it? Why has the church attacked nationalism?
For example, if you are identified mainly as an American, those who are not American may think, I know everything there is to know about you, and attribute erroneous beliefs to you. If you identify yourself by your political affiliation, you will instantly be categorized as having certain beliefs. Though I don't know anyone who believes everything that their preferred political party presently embraces. We could go on and on rehearsing the constraints of various labels that we put on ourselves or that other people place upon us. And yet, the way you think about who you really are affects almost every decision you will ever make. Ageism, racism, nationalism, sexism, and a host of other isms are universally limiting.
Brother Nelson, why did you allow Deseret News to attack Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans? Why didn't you direct them to attack Marxists instead? Why did you allow Deseret News to influence Latter-day Saints to think like a bunch of globalists? Brother Nelson, why weren't you more bold in resisting the COVID lockdowns? Why didn't you do more to encourage people to stand up for freedom? And why did you encourage everyone to take the COVID vaccine? A vaccine that many didn't trust, and for good reason, since that vaccine's now been confirmed to have many dangerous side effects. Brother Nelson, over the course of your ministry, why did you allow Utah to become the kind of place where schools can radicalize youth to the left? Why didn't you often teach the church to revere the founding fathers and oppose socialism, as previous leaders had done?
Are you concerned about the increasing subversion in this blessed country and other countries of the free world, and the spread of wickedness by a giant conspiracy? Would you be interested in reading the Book of Mormon that records the downfall of two great ancient American civilizations as a result of internal secret conspiracies, and contains a warning to us today that when we see these conditions in our midst, that the Lord commands us to awake to our awful situation? With the increasing amount of aid and trade which we are providing the enemy of freedom, you might be interested to know what the Book of Mormon says will happen to a nation that upholds this conspiracy. Would you like to know of the warnings of the prophets about our increasing descent down the soul-destroying road of socialism and what they have told us to do about it? Jesus knew of the calamities that would befall the world, which is one of the reasons why he gave revelations to Joseph Smith and other prophets. Would you like to know of a...
Brother Nelson, why did you undermine the inspired Second Amendment and the great culture that it can produce. You did this by suggesting we need more gun control laws.
I know your hearts are heavy as our ladies and mine as we contemplate those ruthless killings in Florida this last week. I think of Elena Petty, 14-year-old Latter-day Saint, who I snuffed out by that sniper's bullet. And it's natural for you and others to say, how could God allow things like that to happen? Well, God allows us to have our agency, and men have passed laws that allow guns to go to people who shouldn't have them.
Furthermore, why does church policy prohibit members from concealed carrying on church property? Why does it make us a bunch of sitting ducks to any active shooter or terrorist that might want to take us out? And going further, why does church policy signal to the world and to the membership that we should be anti-gun? Because that's what that policy does. It doesn't just make a rule saying you can't carry guns on church property. Many people who read that policy take it as an implication that they should be anti-gun, and they're going to vote anti-gun. They're going to undermine the inspired Bill of Rights that God gave us for the protection of all people. So no Latter-day Saint should be anti-gun. Brother Nelson, why did you teach false doctrine about contention?
Anger never persuades. Hostility builds no one. Contention never leads to inspired solutions. 2 years ago, I called upon us as covenant followers of Jesus Christ to be peacemakers. I repeat what I said then. Anger never persuades. Hostility builds no one. Contention never leads to inspired solutions.
This is false doctrine because it contradicts the standard works. There have been many times in the scriptures where people righteously used contention to bring about inspired outcomes. Saying that contention never leads to inspired solutions is not only false, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous because it allows lies, falsehoods, and bad decisions to prevail. And more now than ever, we need people to contend for the faith and stand up for truth.
What's in a name, or in this case, a nickname? When it comes to nicknames of the church, such as LDS Church, the Mormon Church, or the Church of the Latter-day Saints, the most glaring omission is the absence of the Savior's name. To remove the Lord's name from the Lord's church is a major victory for Satan.
Brother Nelson, why did you spend so much time attacking the nickname of the church when there were many other issues causing far more damage to the church? Never mind what President Gordon B. Hinckley had previously said about the church's nickname, and never mind the fact that the priesthood itself has a canonized nickname. Brother Nelson, how could you say that using the term Mormon was a major victory for Satan, but then remain silent when LGBTQ activists like Aaron Sherinian were put into important positions of influence in the church? The fact that we have lots of people like Aaron Sherinian working in the church and at BYU today, is that not a major victory for Satan? And what about the Marxist diversity training programs that the church has begun to adopt in recent years? Are those programs not a major victory for Satan? These are some questions that will come to mind as we remember the ministry of Russell M. Nelson. Well, that's all I've got for now. If you like this video and you want to see more in the future, then hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Thanks.